Hello, everyone. It's Tracy Murphy Poxtis, and this is Good to Great in Under 8, the weekly show for motivated professionals that want to have greater business impact and get more fulfillment out of their careers. So, guys, one of the big things that my clients always come to me with, and I hear this time and time again, is they constantly say, my people aren't delivering. They are just not getting it done. And as we start to break this down, the key thing that comes up time and time again is that the leader is actually not holding people accountable. And guys, I get it. I lived through it. Holding people accountable is tough. It requires sometimes stepping outside of your comfort zone, right? And risking that you might upset someone, piss someone off, or hurt somebody's feelings. But guess what? You got to do it. And it is doable. It really is doable. And, over my time in corporate America, I found that doing three things consistently, and I mean consistently, over and over, really helps in holding people accountable. The first thing is really being clear about what you want people to do, when you want it, and telling them what success looks like. The second thing is checking in with them, asking, how's it going? What support do you need? And then the third thing is really sharing honest, objective, but supportive feedback. So when I say being really clear about what you want people to do, that's really the first step in accountability, right? Your teams aren't mind readers, guys. As the leader and manager, it is your job to communicate to them what you want, when you want it, and what success looks like. And it's also your responsibility to make sure that they understand it, right? It doesn't do anybody any good if you go through this whole explanation and the person walks away and has no idea what they're supposed to be doing. Right, so take the time to make sure that they truly understand what they're being asked to do. And, for those of you that might be on the receiving end of this and maybe not getting clarity from your leader or your manager, ask. It's always better to ask for clarity. Say something like, hey, if I'm interpreting you correctly, what you want me to do is A, B, and C, and you need it by this date. Am I on base? Am I on track? You getting that clarity from your leader, if they're not providing it, is critical. And then the other key thing, guys, I always like to get this kind of stuff in writing, especially for the bigger stuff, right? This way it really ensures that we've got the clarity that we need and the other person has the clarity that they need. Then the next thing is really checking in with people and seeing how you can support them. Now, I know that this might seem like common sense because I can't tell you how many times my clients have also said to me, well, they knew what they needed to do, they just didn't get it done. Well, as leaders and managers, one of the things that sometimes we often fail to recognize is that stuff comes up, right, for our people. Challenges come up for them. Priorities conflict. And sometimes people aren't sure how to handle those things. And when they're unsure how to handle those things, a lot of times people don't ask for the clarity that they need. They're afraid to go to their manager and ask for help. So as the manager, recognize that this can happen to people. And that's why checking in with them and seeing how you can support them is really so helpful. And doing this also says, I'm not micromanaging you. It says, I'm engaged. I want to make sure that you succeed, and I'm here to help. And then lastly, that third thing to do and do consistently is to share honest and supportive feedback. The reality is, guys, getting things done in today's workplace is tough. But it is your responsibility to let people know if they're falling behind. But it's also important to do that in a non-judgmental and supportive way, right? So your goal should be to share honest and objective feedback, right? So maybe something like, hey, Bob, I noticed A, B, and C haven't been completed yet, and I'm concerned that next month's deadline won't be met. What support do you need to ensure that we meet the deadline? So what you want to do is be sure that the feedback is really focused on the project and not the person. And that you're recognizing there might be something else happening and that you're there to help them resolve it, but you also want them to know that they're going to be held accountable. And then the other thing is, and I can't stress this enough, keep your own emotions in check. And this is where the judgment comes in, right? When something's not done, I think most of us, our first reaction is just to maybe fly off the handle or be like, oh, there's that person again, they just can't get it done. Keep those emotions in check. Remember, there might be something else going on. Come from a place of curiosity and not blame. And I promise you guys, if you start doing these 3 things consistently, you're going to start getting the results that you want. You're also going to start feeling less stressed. And you're also likely to really start appreciating the work that your team's doing and that everyone else around them is doing. So I really challenge you guys to try these 3 things consistently. Write them down. Put them on a sheet of paper, try them out over the next 6 months, right? Be clear about what you want and what success looks like. Check in with people and share honest and supportive feedback. And if you want some help in holding your team accountable and specifically working through the issues that you're faced with, I am available for one-on-one coaching. So just go to tracymurphycoaching.com. Go to the Work With Me page, fill out the form at the bottom, and we'll get a conversation started. All right, guys, good luck holding your folks accountable. You've got the tools to do it, and I will see you next time.